pregnant already, but I got something on my mind, and it's because of something that happened last night. And I want to know why black couples normalize violence. And I say that because last night I was woken multiple times out of my sleep, actually, by a neighbor. They had apparently a party, and the guy, started the party maybe around 7, and it went on, and honestly, until like close to 3 o'clock in the morning. And they were playing extremely loud music, and they were loud talking and laughing, and drinking at first. But then, hey, what's up, everybody? Hit the like if you're here. They were talking and laughing and drinking, and I kind of knew that something bad was going to happen because it's just my experience, like growing up in a black family. Like, let's be real. And anytime that you have drinking and barbecue involved, there's more than likely going to be a fight, like straight up. And sure enough, there was. It was around 3 in the morning. At first, it was two females. And I knew this because, like I said, my freaking bedroom window was right by their driveway, which is where they decided to have the party, in the freaking driveway. Some ghetto crap, I know, but yeah, whatever. So they're being loud. Two women were going at it, calling each other bees. And then all of a sudden, a guy jumped into it. So I don't know if he was like, it seemed like it was a situation where the two women were not related, but one of the men was related to one of the females, the one he seemed to come stand up for. But he was going against a person that apparently he came to the party with and was dating. Like, literally, I could hear all of this in this conversation. That's how freaking loud they were. And that's, again, right outside my bedroom window. So all of a sudden, he just like literally attacks her. Like, I kid you not. And he's like screaming all of their business out. He's saying stuff like, bitch, you been a slime ball, bitch. You got that $10,000 from your taxes. You didn't do shit for me or my mama. And I'm thinking, like, your mama? Would y'all live with her or something? I mean, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions about that, but literally that's what he said. And he said, you've been fucking all these niggas and stuff like that. And I kid you not, when I heard a whole bunch of crashing and I looked out the window, this dude was on top of the woman, wailing on her, like, no joke, hitting on her like she's a whole dude. And the one woman who was trying to help her had a cast on her arm, and she's like trying to pull him off, like, stop, stop, stop. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. Mind you, there's little kids, like little kids. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Why, first of all, are these kids still outside? Number one, why are y'all even partying at 3 o'clock in the morning anyway? But what in the heck are these kids doing here? They're right up on the man as he's hitting her. And you know what? I didn't end up calling the police because somebody else apparently did. Like, within minutes, the police were there. So they must have, somebody in the neighborhood probably called the police because they were loud anyway after hours. Like, they were loud, playing loud music. And then once they arguing and everything commenced, someone else had called the police. But this is how ignorant, like, some, I hate to say it, some people in the hood are. Like, first of all, cops are now here. You're still trying to get at this woman. You're a whole man trying to fight this woman. Hey, Sean. I'm doing okay. I'm just talking about some crazy stuff that happened last night, like right outside my freaking window. And it makes me question a lot about my neighbor because it's just a single man that lives there normally. But he had a party yesterday and he had all these people over, which I'm assuming family and friends and stuff. But they were drinking and they got into it pretty bad. Like I said, the man was like, you've been effing all these niggas. You've been a slime ball bee. For 10 years I've been dealing with this. For 10 years I've been dealing with this crap. And they finally got him off of her. I guess he must have felt some sympathy because the kids were literally little kids, like kids my age, like freaking 5, and little tiny kids standing there. So he finally gets off of her. They pull him off, but then the cops show up. She's probably telling them her whole side of the story. He's still, mind you, he's still yelling. The dude that owns the actual house next to me, he's like, dude, come in the house, nigga. Get your dumb ass in here. The cops is here. Like, come on, get in the house. Like, he was like, no, I don't give a and still trying to go at it, yelling at the woman across the street and stuff like that. Like, dude, you're gonna go to jail. Like, first of all, you're going to jail. Like, you just assaulted a person, and you're assaulted a woman at that. Good morning, everybody. And I'm just like, this is what I don't understand about black couples, because he literally said in conversation, this is how vivid everything was, so clear. He's like, I've been dealing with this for 10 years. So you mean to tell me a decade of y'all fighting like this to the point where you're laying hands on her in front of people, like wailing on a woman. Like, she has put you through the ringer, obviously, and I'm not saying that she probably didn't, because most of the time people don't just attack you for no reason. But it's like, what would make you continually deal with somebody that's cheating on you, gets money from taxes and does nothing for you? What would make you just keep dealing with what you call a slime ball B, to the point where you're getting arrested now? I mean, at some point I just closed the blinds because I didn't want them to know that I was watching. So I don't know if he ended up getting arrested or not. I just ended up going back into bed because it was like 3 in the morning and I had to get up for work in an hour anyway, because I have to be at work at like 5 in the morning, you guys. So this interrupted my whole sleep. But and woke up one of my kids at one point. My son woke up screaming and hollering. I had to go in there and comfort him. I'm like, straight up, I'm like, the neighbors are having a party. I mean, it is what it is. And, you know, he just like went back to sleep. But I mean, it just made me think about like black relationships as a whole and the stuff you see on social media. Some people like that, humiliation and abuse. I don't see how. That's what I'm saying. Like, I get that that's a real thing. Like, some people deal with, and they're so used to struggle and like complicated relationships and cheating and drama. But like, why? You know what I mean? Why would you continually be with somebody that brings you to the point of anger where you're assaulting them? And then as a woman, why would you stay with a guy that's comfortable enough to wail on you and like in front of people too? Like, no holds bar, kids and all. And the only person willing to even stick up for you was some woman in a cast. Her arm was like casted. And I'm like, this is some ghetto crap. This is some typical ghetto horrible crap. And it just calls into question, like, at this point, you know, I mean, my husband is black, but and I'm obviously black, but we don't have that type of relationship. Like, we get in arguments, but we're not like going at each other's throats. We don't cuss each other out and things like that. We might have disagreements, I should say, but we're never like full blown yelling at each other and disrespecting each other like that. Like, there's been times where you would say it called for that, but it never gets like that because he and I both have personalities where we're not really that aggressive. You know what I mean? And so that's one thing that I really love about my husband, actually, because my ex, not gonna lie, was a hothead. And he was the type of person like that, you know, he never beat me or anything, but he would get very verbally disrespectful and would say horrible things to me, and it caused me to say horrible things back, and I didn't like who I was when I was dating him. You know what I mean? Because like that whole part of me getting super angry and trying to say things that would really, really hurt somebody, and just the nastiest combination of words possible, including all kind of vulgar language, like those type of things don't even fall out of my lips anymore. I'm not saying that I don't cuss, it's just that I don't like try to be vile and horrible and disgusting about it. Like, he straight told her she was a slime ball B and she's never been ish, and basically he'd been dealing with this for over 10 years, and then just like proceeded to like, and at one point he was actually choking her too. A man on a woman, you guys. And I didn't know that was like real life, you know. Like, I've just never seen it. I've seen it in movies and stuff, but like never in real life, to the point where you, like, here you are at a barbecue and you're comfortable with just jumping on a woman. And like I said, it initially started with the two women arguing about something, just calling each other bees. And like, again, women arguing, you know, it is what it is. Most of the time women don't get to the point where they're like killing each other. Like, he could have probably killed her. The way, like I said, he got on top of her and was boom, boom, boom. Like, I'm thinking like, oh my God. I was thinking guns were going to be pulled out next, and I just was bracing myself because, you know, that's usually what happens in the hood. Normalize toxic relationships is crazy. I mean, yeah, all relationships do have their ups, their downs. That's what being human is all about. I mean, you have ups and downs everywhere, at work, in school, in friendships, in relationships. You know, not everything's going to be hunky-dory and peaches and cream all the time, but it's levels to this ish. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get to the point where you're wailing on somebody at a barbecue. Like, that's just crazy. And watch, they're the type of couple that's so toxic like that, you'll see them go through some shit some stuff like that, and then they'll be like literally back together, you know? And then, oh, and another thing he said was, where the F is your kids now? Where the F is your kids now? Like, in other words, like, she wasn't even taking care of her own kids. Like, they were probably with someone else, but he was saying that she was getting the tax money for them. And I mean, this is how much this man was putting their business out there, and how vivid and how loud and clear it was. Like, I saw a dude body slam his girlfriend, and she is still with him. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, like, when a relationship gets to the point where you're like causing bodily injury to the other person, I think that is a definite sign that it's over. Like, you shouldn't even have a second chance. Why? Because what's the next step? If you're body slamming somebody, the next thing you know, you're choking them, and then they're dead. You know? My only guess is that they grew up witnessing toxicity to the point where they think it's normal. Exactly. And now, and again, here it was, 3 a.m, little ass kids standing right there witnessing all of this. They're probably normalizing it too, because they're all just going to go home, and then next barbecue, they're all going to be together again. Uncle whoever and auntie whoever, the toxic couple, here beating on each other, cheating on each other. And I'm sorry, I would never be with somebody that just was like recklessly cheating on me. He's obviously stayed with a woman for over a decade that he, quote unquote, said was effing all these niggas. So if she's cheating on you so much to the point where you're like ready to kill her, you're like beating the crap out of her in front of everybody, that's on you, man. I got no sympathy for it, because obviously something ain't right with you to where she's cheating on you and you're just sitting there taking it. Like, you're a loser at that point. Like, he's a loser, period. And the fact that you're like a grown man beating up a woman is just sad and pathetic. I mean, it doesn't really matter what a person does to you. You can always take the bigger route, especially as a man. Like, you're supposed to lead. You're not supposed to be allowing a woman to get you off of your ground. Like, maybe another man, yeah, you can will on another man, come to fisticuffs, things happen, disagreements, and you got to show them like, hey, I ain't no punk, and I'm gonna put my hands on you, sir. But a woman, never an excuse. He is a simp, basically. Yeah. And she's a full-blown retard, because again, like, you're with a guy, you know. And then the fact that he said, you got that 10 bands from the government, you ain't even taking care of your kids, where the F is your kids at, where the F is your kids at, and you ain't give me and my mama nothing. What? Why does your mama need tax money from her? You know what I mean? Unless she's probably, they're all living with his mama probably. Like, it's just some typical ghetto, like, stuff. And I hate to like say it like that. Y'all probably think like, oh, you think you're better or something. It's like, no, I don't think I'm better. It's just maybe because I grew up different and I know better. But I still, like I said, am witnessing these things, have seen it from own family members, toxicity. So I'm used to hearing about this stuff. I've never physically seen that, though. I've never physically seen a man just jump on a woman and just like beat the crap out of her like that before. And I'm telling you, something is different about black women, because if a man jumped on me, you guys, and was wailing on me, I'd be out for the count. When I say this chick jumped right the freak back up, like, she just jumped up like it wasn't nothing, and her friend was like trying to hold her back, like she wanted some more or something. Like, first of all, ma'am, you almost got choked to death, like, and you're ready for more, like, still talking junk. He's still talking junk. The cops are here. Like, this is just, it just makes you question, like, black people as a whole. Like, are we missing a chromosome or something? Like, what would make you be that stupid? Like, men are physically stronger than women. No man shouldn't be fighting a woman. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And again, no men stepped up to stop him. It was literally the one woman whose arm was in a cast. And the little kids. It's like the little kids even felt sympathy for her. Like, they're all running around. I don't know if they were her kids or not. Obviously they weren't, because he asked her where the F are her kids. But it was like, dang, you know, you just beating a woman in front of all these little kids. Like, that's just sick. If someone cheat on you one time, leave. Then, leave them, because once a cheater, always a cheater. And if you give them another chance, they're going to keep doing it. Now, see, that I kind of disagree with, because not in this relationship, but in my past relationship, I cheated on the person that I was with. I'll be honest, I did. I wasn't perfect. I was 23 years old, you know, probably just young and dumb, you know, and I made a horrible decision and cheated, but I never actually did it again in that relationship because I felt so bad. You know what I mean? It just was like a line that I was unwilling to cross ever again, you know, and I think that some people make mistakes, especially when you're, you know, extremely young, but you're right. If you're like at a certain age though, and you know better and you done had experience in relationships, you know, and you're doing that, then yeah, you can't just keep giving people chances to break your heart over and over again. Some of these women can fight. Some can, but more than likely though, like, I mean, unless you're a trained fighter, the average guy is going to be able to whoop a woman's butt. I don't care, you know, and in fact, they've done videos like where MMA women fought regular average dudes, and then what the women got their tails kicked by just regular guys, because regular guys are just always going to be physically stronger. The weight in a woman is different than a man. Even if a woman's a bigger woman, she could be 250 pounds. Most of that's going to be fat. You know what I mean? Versus the man. You know what I mean? Men are always just going to have more muscle capacity. And even if you look at like the cell level, like the way the man's muscle is, it's way more dense than a woman's. So they're just stronger. Thanks for the honesty. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not perfect. You know, I'm not sitting here perfect, and I'm really not trying to judge those people or anything. Like, don't get me wrong. I know it sounds like you probably like, whatever, girl, you just straight judge them, and I probably was. But it's like, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, this guy that we live next to, he lives by himself, usually, generally very quiet. You don't hear nothing out of him. He has a party one time, and then some ghetto crap pops off. And I'm like, yeah, guys, hit the likes if you can. I appreciate it. But, thanks for mentioning that too, Sean. Let me read some more of these comments. I think I read all these, yeah. But yeah, like, I just couldn't for the life of me believe what I was seeing and hearing, because again, I've never seen a man just beat a woman just relentlessly like that. And obviously their relationship has been built on toxicity. The fact that he was saying all that, like, oh, 10 years of dealing with her shit and this and that. Yeah, I'm definitely just giving an opinion, you guys. I mean, you've seen drama on my own channel, so it's not like I'm perfect or anything, but geez, like, if you ever think you're going through something in your relationship and then you look over your neighbor and you're like, wow, other people got it way worse. Way more drama, way more crap going on. But it's like, I've seen so many videos like that, like, and I wasn't gonna pull my phone out, you guys. Like, first of all, I wasn't trying to like let them know that I saw. Number one, not trying to be like looking like the white neighbor looking out the window, you know what I mean, with my phone, like, because that's probably the vibes it would have gave off. But definitely, like, I'm not a Karen or anything. I didn't call the police. Somebody else had called the police. I had the thought, though, I'm not gonna lie, I had the thought about calling the police, but I'm like thinking to myself, you know, and this is because it got past like 11 or 12 o'clock and they were still playing super loud music right outside my window. So I was like, let me just shut the window and, you know, just try to vibe out, you know, and try to go to sleep. And I had initially turned the TV on because, you know, sometimes canceling out the noise, you can sleep. Like, I can sleep with the TV on. I'm one of those people. But the pregnancy is going really good. Like, this has been my easiest baby yet. Like, some days, other than him kicking around in me, I don't even feel like super pregnant like that. But then again, I'm like, what, 21, going on 22 weeks or something. So I'm just a little bit over halfway there. So I've still got quite a bit of time left. I'm almost 6 months. So I still got at least another, what is it? 18 weeks, which is essentially 4 months, I guess you could say. So I don't know why people say pregnancy is only 9 months when it like clearly is 10 because you're pregnant for like 40 weeks. Sometimes even longer than 40 weeks. Like, all of my pregnancies have been like 41, and then Luca was almost 42 weeks I was pregnant with her for almost 42 weeks. But all the others have been over 41 weeks. And I feel like this is going to be my easiest pregnancy yet, though, because my last one, I didn't even have to get induced. He came out, you know, on his own, which was nice. I was late, I was 41 weeks in a few days, but at least I didn't have to get induced, which hurts more technically. So he slipped right on out. So this one will probably, Mike will be sitting at the end of the table with a catcher's mitt ready for this one, probably. But yeah, that was just like a lot. Like, that was a lot. I don't know. Do you guys have any stories like that where you just like get woken up in the middle of the night by your neighbors? Horrific crap going on. I really thought something was gonna pop off. I was like thinking somebody was gonna die, like, because they just were doing the most. I mean, when I heard the table crash, I'm like, I hurried up and jumped up. I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh my God. Just glass bottles, beer all over the place. And then that guy just on top of her, just bam, bam, bam. And like I said, when she just popped back up, I think there's something different about black women. It just, because I've seen too many videos like that. I remember seeing this like live video of this woman who was standing there trying to fight. And then this other girl came and hit her with a car and slammed her with the car into a wall of a building. And do you know that woman just got right up and started walking away? Like, I was like, oh my God, either her adrenaline is on 10, or black women just, we some beasts. Like, y'all can't really take us down easy. Let's just put it like that. It's something in our DNA that makes us like extra strong, but like low-key extra stupid too when it comes to stuff like this. Like, and it just, I don't know, Sean, like, I'll be watching your videos and it inspires me to talk about Sansa Ray sometimes too, because I'm like, she can't be serious. Like, you can't possibly be serious. Like, but she really is. She really be believing things that come out of her mouth. And it's like, and she's convinced, I think, that other people believe her too. Like, she'd be like, yeah, all these men in my DMs, they're just telling me I'm so beautiful, and they're like ready to pay for an apartment for me. They're ready to sign a mortgage for me. And it's just like, then why the hell haven't they? Why have you been in and out of your car for 8 years then, if that's the case? You know what I mean? Like, and then now her son's writing algebra on the walls and stuff. Like, he speaks 7, 8 languages. He sitting over here, Albert Einstein, 7 years old, solving algebra problems, but the little boy can't even like articulate. And it's like, I'm not making fun of that, because, if you have a special need, if you have a situation, it's a condition that he can't help. Still a very cute little boy, and I hope the best for him. But it's like the fact that she's trying to make him seem like he's a Rain Man or something, like, oh, he's special needs, but he's low-key a genius. And it's like, maybe he is, maybe he's not. I don't know. I've seen zero proof of anything that she says. She just literally talks out of her ass about a lot of stuff. And it just makes our women look, and it's not all. It's definitely not all, because you have plenty of black women, beautiful black women on your show, Sean, who are nothing like that, like Lotus and Brandy, Nova, God bless. All those women are not like that at all. They're super smart, educated, good mothers. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely not all of us. She is not black. She's orange. When she has makeup on, she do be looking kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. And then, have you noticed, like, a lot of times she uses those filters that like make her have like Chinese eyes? Like, she'd be like this, and it's like, why? Just be yourself, She didn't even make it out of algebra because she dropped out. Who are we talking about? Oh, we were talking about Black Macho. That's her YouTube channel name. She is texting herself. She wrote that by herself. Her son doesn't even know what algebra is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Did you guys see that new Netflix series, or not series, but it's a show, a movie by Tyler Perry on Netflix, and it's called Straw. And it has like Taraji P. Henson is in it. Tiana Taylor's in it. And a few other good mentionables, but it was good, actually. It was a good movie, but it was very, very, very unrealistic. And it reminded me, I'm not gonna lie, it reminded me so much of Sansa Ray, because it was about a woman who was on the struggle bus of life, like, just every which way, she's suffering. She's at a low-income job, barely making enough to make ends meet. She has a child who wasn't special needs, but was sickly and in and out of the hospital a lot. And she had a car that like barely worked. Um, there was no man in sight, and it was something else about her too. Like she was just broke. Oh, and she got evicted. All like in the same day. Like all this bad stuff. I don't want to talk about too much. I don't want to spoil it. Exactly, Sean. She doesn't have these men. These are fictitious lies that she comes up with to try to make herself look a little better. Maybe by chance, if Priest or his woman are watching, they try to make them jealous, or maybe make her look a little less sad. But in reality, the fact that we know so much better, it doesn't really make you look like anything other than more sad, because it's like you're lying at this point, you know? But yeah, Straw is really, it's wild, but to me it was kind of a good movie. Like it did keep my attention, although I felt like it was very unrealistic in some ways. Like if you're a person that is struggling extremely financially, like there are programs out there that would help you. Like for instance, SNAP, you can get food that way. There's Medicaid, health insurance that way. There's Section 8 to help with housing. So the fact that she just was like struggling and losing everything and like barely able to eat and stuff, like that was just unrealistic, because unless you're just terrible with your money and you're selling off your food stamps, like maybe if she had a drug problem or something, then it would have made more sense. But it's like, how is she this upstanding mom who is trying her best to take care of her child, but and I get like not having enough money. Well, then you go to the government then. I mean, if you have to, you have to. I got no judgment there. Like if you're not able to make the ends meet, rather than your child suffering and starving, why wouldn't you just get help? There's free lunch programs at school. There's, again, food stamps, whatever you got to do, you know? I never seen. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, it's worth a good watch. And I was thinking about doing like a review on it, because to me, I'm just tired of Tyler Perry making these like struggle black women movies though. Like I want to see a happy ending. You know what I mean? This movie was like not um a happy ending at all. It was very, very sad. So if you're not in the mood to like see a super sad ending, then you may not want to watch it, but that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so besides that, I actually started this video initially to talk about why do black people normalize violence in relationships. And it could be like you guys said, because that's all they know, that's what they've seen. It could be media and the fact that you're seeing those kind of videos pop up all the time. How many videos have you seen of like couples? I know you guys have seen those videos where the woman is like chasing the man in her car and she's like trying to run him over, but he's like too quick and she's like just smashing her car up against everything. He is going through SA case. I know, I heard about that, but I heard it was already pretty much resolved and that he was going to have to pay him something like 240 million. And it was some white man, a really nice looking white man, who said that he was basically hitting him up for sex. And he's like, if you want these roles, then you pretty much got to do what I asked you to do. But we already know Hollywood is like that. And the reason they want to keep it so hush hush is for all the young up and coming stars, so they think that it's all just peaches and cream. But in reality, if you want to make it to that super rich, insanely well known level, you almost have to sell your soul. And I don't know if they're technically selling it to the devil through like the Illuminati, or if they're just selling it to other people, giving themselves up sexually. I mean, they said that Justin Bieber went through something like that. Raven Simone admitted that there were stories that people tried to get her to do things. Britney Spears. I mean, and then you think about it, years later, these people, they're so well known, they're beautiful, they have everything, they're so rich, and then all of a sudden you see them grow up and they look terrible, life has just happened to them. Like, look at Amanda Bynes. Have you guys seen her recently? She doesn't even look like herself. And she's like my age, maybe a little older or younger, I don't know. But she looks like she's in her 50s. And she lost that little tiny frame that she had. She used to be so petite and cute. I don't know what happened to Amanda Bynes. Like, she doesn't look good at all. Like, life just really happened to her. Orlando Brown, exactly. Holly Weird, that's exactly what it is. Like, they want you to come there thinking that you're just going to be famous and rich and life is going to be all good, but then you got to do these like weird creepy things and have sex with each other, people of the same sex. And if you're not into that, like, why make people do it? Like, that's what I'm saying. There's enough like homosexual people in the world to where if they want to exploit themselves, then let them do it. Don't try to change somebody who's clearly heterosexual and make them do what you want to do. And I can believe it on Tyler Perry's part. Who in this room, raise your hand, actually thought that Tyler Perry was straight? Like, anybody? Does anyone actually think Tyler Perry is straight? Because I have never thought the man was straight. He plays Medea too good. Okay, like his his character, you know what I'm saying, is not necessarily a good look for the black community. Let's call it what it is. She's violent. She's ghetto. She's brash. Carries around a weapon. Smokes weed. Doesn't have any respect for herself. She'll sexualize herself. And it's just like, at first he initially started it off as like a Christian thing, but it's really not that Christian when you get down and watch it, you know. And Straw was definitely a far cry from that. But I don't know. I wish like our people wouldn't normalize that kind of stuff to where you're looking out your window at 3 o'clock in the morning watching a man brutally beat a woman in front of children. Like, I wish that wasn't the story that I had for today. I wish the story that I could have come on here and say is, you know, I saw a lovely family barbecue yesterday. Everything went really well. They ended the party at like 11 o'clock, which was a reasonable hour to shut off their loud music. No, that junk went on until 3 something in the morning, until the cops came, basically. They probably would have kept going. They probably would have still been fighting and drinking, you know. And I've seen situations like that in my own family, and that's why I hate to say it, but I don't really go to like a lot of my own family events and things. I typically stay far away from it. Some of the people on like my dad's side of the family, not all, but some, are just a different breed of black people, you know. And I tend to hang out with my husband's family a lot more because I find them to be more just socially acceptable. You know what I mean? Like, they're not like bougie or anything. They're very nice people, very easy to talk to, but they're well-rounded. They don't cuss. Like, hardly anybody in his family even cuss. Like, they're just really good people, and they have strong family values, and I just really like that. Like, I vibe really well with that. If a man puts on a dress or does a gay role, definitely homosexual. Yeah, like, anytime you're doing it that easy and you're doing it that well, like, he's definitely gay. And I'm not here to judge. Like, gay is what it is. Like, that's a lifestyle choice. I got no problem with it. But it's the fact that he's like married, and, you know, they said that he paid that woman to have that baby for him and stuff. Just like Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson could have had any woman, but you had to pay somebody to have your kid. You know, it's because he probably never had sex with her. He probably just like gave her the sperm and she turkey basted it low key. Because Michael Jackson kind of gave me gay vibes too. And I don't want to talk about him because I know he's a legend, and I know a lot of people will like come for me and have hate for me if I say that, but I felt like Michael Jackson was a little gay, you know. Now, did he touch kids and stuff? That I'm not wholly convinced about. But was he gay? Possibly. Because think about it, you never really heard about him and all these different women. Like, he had a few, you know, white women here and there, but they were never like, you know, they never really were anything with them. So I think if you're paying people to have kids for you too, it means you just didn't have sex with them. Because usually you come out of pocket after the kid is born, you know, not before. You know what I mean? That's just my thoughts. Well, anyway, that's really all I had to say. We as black people have to have more respect for ourselves and each other. We should not be disturbing other people with our parties, number one. Two, we should never get to the point where in our relationships we hate somebody to the point where we're able to just be around family members and just beat the living crap out of them. This should never be normal behavior. And then there should always be consideration when small children are around, because again, they're the last people that you want to make those type of impressions on. Who knows if those little boys that were standing there watching this man wail on this woman aren't going to think that that's normal now. I don't think he touched kids. I think he really loves kids. He said he used to hang out with kids because he didn't have a good childhood. Yeah, like, I think that, they would need a lot more evidence to convince me that he was a pedophile, but I definitely think he might have been a little sweet. Just because of his voice and stuff. Oh, hold on, you guys. Hey, what's up?
Mom was good for you.
Oh, okay.
I told him you was in the bathroom though.
Okay, thank you. I'm coming. Y'all, I'm at work. I gotta go back to work. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you are here, and I will see you next time.